Hello again, and welcome back to another one. And today we have more from Eminem Associates talking about the drama that's going down between Em and Snoop. And remember, when the year started, cool cats on Twitter went viral with posts like this about how no one cares about Eminem and Snoop, since they both irrelevant. But several days later, this is arguably the most talked about hip-hop topic so far in 2021, and this outcome stresses the L in cool cats, I would say. And Joe Budden and D12’s Swifty dropped their takes recently, but one is getting slammed for his take, and we'll be exploring these reactions today. As we dive in, if you enjoy content like this, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and find me on social media at ETLifestyle_web. So in the last video, it was Tyler getting called out for playing dumb in regards to the drama so far, and this time around we have Joe Budden doing something similar, but also acting like some kind of mind reader who's able to see into the mind of Eminem to bring out views out of the blue. It may sound like I'm kidding, but see for yourself.
Like him saying, yo, I don't have a problem with all the people you put ahead of me in your top 10 and you're not listening. Like, that was cool. No, it wasn't.
Why do you say no, it wasn't?
Because he had a problem with it.
I don't think he had no problem with that.
Tone matters with my friends.
I think he did.
So despite Eminem's explanation that echoed what most fans suggested from the beginning back in July 2020 during the initial backlash after Snoop pretty much dumped on Eminem's discography, Joe claims that Eminem is actually mad about the top 10 list. He stuck to that point and even took an issue with Eminem's tone, and fans have reacted accordingly. A post on Twitter states, "What's he smoking? I can't with these clowns." Even stans were not mad about Snoop leaving M out of his top 10, it was really all about his tone and that last sentence. And my channel's coverage of this story that date back to July 2020 is consistent with this take. It was always about the last statement and tone, even long before Eminem spoke on this, and since Joe is speaking like some mind reader, a user adds, "Joe sees things that aren't there, it's his trademark." All this is quite confusing because Eminem broke this down in his Shade 45 interview. They even played it on the show and stopped it abruptly before the best part.
I think it was more about the tone he was using that caught me off guard, because I'm like, yo, where is this coming?
More on this to come in a bit, and Joe still chose to stick to the mainstream narrative that all this drama is about a list, similar to what Charla did in the previous video. And on this weird obsession to stick to the false narrative so far, a user echoes the words that's been on the social media streets for a while now. They all work for Diddy. And on Joe's take, another user asked, "Again? Man, Em already broke down the reason why, but check this out." In response to what happened in the video, over in the comment section a user states, "So is Joe not finna play the rest of them M clip where he explains why he actually responded?" And this is what this user is referring to.
I think it was more about the tone he was using that caught me off guard, because I'm like, yo, where is this coming?
As you saw, Joe stopped M's explanation just in time before Eminem broke down the actual reason why he responded to Snoop on Zeus, to most likely preserve the false narrative. And in response to the user that pointed out what Joe did, the user claims, he is obviously pushing his own narrative. The whole discussion was biased and didn't make any sense. Budden literally criticized M's tone while saying nobody is allowed to tone police his own. Every time I think the Slaughterhouse album is gonna come out, Joe comes with his hating mouth. And some even pointed out what Joe did on Twitter. One user expands, "What was annoying is that he didn't listen to the whole reason, he shut it off early." And I'm just glad that people are catching on to the media's obsession with claiming that Eminem is mad about a top 10 list, ignoring Eminem's own words to push a false narrative. And Joe's credibility is getting questioned accordingly, since he's known to make outrageous claims when he's up in his feelings.
I've been better than you this entire decade.
A user states, Joe discussing a beef between two rappers when he is literally beefing with one of them is absolute jokes. Y'all already know, Joe gonna be up in his feels in this one. Moving on, D12’s Swifty was on Heart of an Outlaw show on IG recently, and he was asked about his thoughts on the drama between Eminem and Snoop, and he pretty much said what every reasonable person has said on this.
When he said that I can live without this, it would just kind of make you question, what does that mean? Do you mean that, you know, you really don't with his music like that? You see what I'm saying? It kind of, you know, rose a little eyebrow. When you on the same team as somebody, you don't give no question mark of you don't make anybody feel like they have to question if you with them or not.
This was posted on their YouTube page, and in reference to Daz's claims about why Snoop was mad at Eminem, a user pointed out the irony that many have ignored. I said this before, it's funny that Snoop says he can live without M's music, but he's mad that M wouldn't give him a feature. Think about it. And to all those that claim Eminem shouldn't have responded, or those that said M was being sensitive, a user points out the hypocrisy. The way I look at it, let's say Eminem went on a radio station or podcast that openly hated Snoop, and Eminem said the same thing that Snoop said, this would be a huge deal. That will be all. Comment below and see you on the next one.